Okay, we're going to take a look at the two word problems on your page. The first one, what it's asking you to do is to write a linear inequality, or an inequality in two variables. It really shouldn't be that hard, but you have to sort of read through what you're reading, or pay attention, close attention to what you're reading. So let's see. A wholesaler has $75,000 to spend on certain models of TV sets and VCRs. So a person who owns a store has $75,000 to buy these things, and if what they have is $75,000, that means they can spend $75,000, or they can spend less than $75,000, right? So the money they can spend is going to be less than or equal to $75,000. They can't spend any more than that. All right. If the TV sets may be obtained at $375 each, so $375 each, that tells me that 375 is going to be the coefficient, or that's what I'm going to multiply by the number of televisions. And the VCRs are going to be sold $215 each. Write an inequality that restricts the purchase of X TVs, so that's just telling us we're going to use X as the variable for televisions, and Y VCRs. So all this is saying is, if the TVs are $375 each, then I'm going to have 375 times the amount of TVs I have, which is X, plus VCRs, and those go for $215 each, and I'm going to multiply that by the amount of VCRs, which is Y. All of that total needs to be either less than or equal to $75,000. So it doesn't matter how many TVs I get, as long as the amount of VCRs I get balances to keep all of that under or up to $75,000. And that's it. That's writing the inequality, or the linear inequality, to restrict the purchase of TVs and VCRs. This next problem, I want you to pause it and take a stab at doing it yourself. After you unpause it, then you can see how well you did, or maybe you just want to unpause it for a hint and pause it again. But I really want you to do this because you're going to have to do word problems in the future and on your test and on your SOL, so please. Okay, so you have $4,500 to buy stock. So you can spend up to $4,500, which means you can spend less than $4,500, but at most you have $4,500. So that's going to be, again, less than or equal to $4,500 is what you can spend. Just want to write that down. All right, you decided to buy American Enterprises and Allied Junkyards, which are AE and AJY respectively. AE sells for $27.50 per share. AJY sells for $45.25 per share. Write an inequality which restricts the purchase of X shares of AE and Y shares of AJY. So all that's telling me really is that X is the variable I'm going to use to represent AE, and Y is the variable I'm going to use to represent AJY. And I want to see how much I can buy of them all together. So the amount of shares are X, and those the shares of AE go for $27.50 per share. So that would be $27.50 times X, which is the amount of shares, plus the amount of shares of AJY, which go for $45.25, and the amount of shares of those would be Y. And there you have it. That's my inequality to show how things are being restricted.